What's going on, guys? Another day, another distraction. But wait, we're getting the Epstein files. Now, they're probably going to be a load of nothing. It's probably going to be a huge nothing burger. But the House voted unanimously today to release the Epstein files. I think it was 304 to 0. So I don't believe it can be overturned by the president. Not that he would want to do it at this point, anyways, because of how the House voted unanimously. And besides that, the reason they did was because I believe the president endorsed the files himself. Now, what does this mean? What does the release of the Epstein files mean? And unfortunately, it doesn't mean anything. Truly, it unfortunately doesn't have any bearing on anything whatsoever. I know that sounds lame to say. We're going to get a lot of names. We're going to see a lot of incriminating evidence, but none of it is going to be prosecutable, I can imagine. So nobody will face any sort of repercussions for anything that is said or done or has been allegedly done in these files and whatever. There's never going to, no one's going to see any jail time. It's just going to be a list of names of people that did bad shit and are going to inevitably get away with doing whatever they did. Now, again, I'm going to reiterate what I said earlier. If there was something truly incriminating, we would never see it. We would actually never see whatever was on these files. They would have been destroyed. The thing is, the FBI works for the Trump administration. They are the government. If there was something like horrifying in there, I honestly doubt that it would stop the American government from being able to destroy it. At least the Trump administration, I should say. And the big thing about these files in particular is that it's a bipartisan issue where both parties were denying that there was any sort of big, issue with these files. Like, both parties were colluding together to suppress this information as best as they could. The Democrats, not as much as the Republicans, but that's only because the Democrats, but that still nonetheless is a majority of the Democratic Party that was suppressing this information. It's kind of funny because they almost always unanimously oppose whatever the Republicans have because it's party lines. Because of party lines, whatever the Republicans are supporting, the Democrats will go against. Now, in this situation, that was not the case. It was split in weird ass ways. Some Republicans were voting yes, some Republicans were voting no. Same thing with the Democrats. So I think that just goes to show what information is actually out there and how much people have invested in these politicians to get them into positions of power. Because if it's not just these politicians that are in these files, it's actually probably people that are paying them. The only corruption in the American government is lobbying. And it's been that way for as long as I can remember, since the inception of America itself. Now, with that being said, the most striking form of evidence of corruption and corporate lobbying we've seen is the release of the Epstein files where I believe her name was Stacey Plaskett, who was a Democrat representing the U.S. Virgin Islands in Congress. Now, Epstein was directly texting her and coaching her on questions to ask in a court, which is pretty insane, to say the least. Now, Epstein was directly texting her and coaching her on questions to ask when cross-referenced. If that isn't blatant corruption, I don't know what is. Now, with all this talk of the Epstein files and whatnot, and them finally going through, Trump has decided to pull the fucking trigger. He needs this problem to go away ASAP. He's going to go to war with Venezuela. Trump is going to invade Venezuela. He's going to do it under the guise of drug-related shit, which everybody knows, similar to the mafia. It will never fucking go away as long as it's illegal. There will always be a supplier as long as there's a buyer. Now, it's just going to move to another country. This is an issue similar to communism that they're just trying to stomp out, but it will just keep spreading. It's in Mexico, it's in Venezuela. Now, personally, as someone who believes in like an America First philosophy, these people, I don't give a shit about like what's going on in their countries. It is illegal and bad, and like they're controlled by cartels, by a different form of corruption. But that's not any of the U.S.'s need to go intervene there. There's absolutely no fucking reason for us to be there, to expend American resources and lives to go, I guess, liberate these people. I mean, they have elections. They have free elections for the most part, but in reality, it is controlled by the cartels. But truly, like, why do we give a shit? Honestly, what is there to gain besides I get protecting the morality, like, but we can't go around to every fucking country on the planet and start doing this shit because we're gonna be losing like probably thousands of people before you know it, and nobody's gonna be happy. It's like what are these people dying for? Drugs? They're not really protecting anyone. Granted, in this situation, these countries that we're going into, and again, I say this because I say this almost with certainty that Trump is going to invade Venezuela. He cannot stand that they are now talking about the Epstein files nonstop. There needs to be a big enough distraction to get rid of it. They've tried and tried. They keep manufacturing stuff, and the last thing they can do is a war. That is the only thing that can really distract people from the Epstein files, and that is exactly what he's going to do. Unfortunately, over the past 3 days, it's been said that Trump has been meeting with uh, J.D. Vance and Pete Hegseth and all of these like military, leaders on plans that are almost certainly to deal with Venezuela.